With 43,000 miles of coast, 17,000 miles of trails, and an endless diversity of wildlife, national parks are the most spectacular places in America. From the Technicolor Springs of Yellowstone to one of the biggest holes in the world, America's highest waterfall in Yosemite, and the ice rivers of Glacier National Park, these places will stop you in your tracks. These are the best parks ever for jaw-dropping scenery. Dawn breaks in a dazzling sunrise, and shifting shadows reveal one of the most famous spectacles in the world. There are plenty of canyons in the world, but this is the grandest of them all. It's only a couple hours east of Las Vegas, and while it lacks pink flamingos and guys dressed up like Caesar, it is 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and over a mile deep. That makes it the world's most scenic hole in the ground. The south rim of the Grand Canyon receives 90% of the park's visitors because it's easiest to reach by car. You can literally drive up to the edge. The views are spectacular. Plus, the sun is at your back, so you don't have to squint. To see the canyon the way the pioneers did, you can ride by horseback or mule, like Teddy Roosevelt. Whether it's a short ride along the South Rim or a 2-day, 14-mile trek down to the Colorado River, it's a canyon experience you will never forget. And if you're thinking a hike from rim to rim, we're talking 3 days and 21 miles of rough trail. And it's a hike that can literally take your breath away. Follow in the footsteps of ancient Americans and head down to the Colorado River into the Big Ditch. Just off the busy rim trail are the last things you'd expect here. Fossils of sea creatures left during the Paleozoic era, hundreds of millions of years ago, when the whole place was underwater. Once at the bottom, some 5,400 feet below where you started, canyon walls loom in every direction. And it's here where the adrenaline kicks in. The rapids are ripping. It's an amazing ride, even if the locals don't seem very impressed. There are secretive side canyons you can pull over and explore. If you want more, head to the other side of the canyon. The less accessible North Rim, open during the summer months, is for more seasoned adventurers because the trails are tougher and the weather rougher. On the eastern end of the park, Bright Angel Point offers views that are, well, heavenly. And some of the most spectacular sights from the North Rim are discovered at Cape Royal Point. From here, you practically get aerial views of the Colorado River, San Francisco peaks, and the monster-sized nooks and crannies that define the world's most popular canyon. Don't just sit at the South Rim and look down. When you go to the Grand Canyon, you have to ride a mule down and raft the Colorado River, so plan accordingly. Canyons are freaking cool. Thank goodness the National Park System gives you more than one choice. Yellowstone is the crown jewel of the park system. It's so big, it straddles across 3 states: Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. There's so much to see and do here, it's overwhelming. The world's largest collection of geysers, Yellowstone's own Grand Canyon, and a whole bunch of waterfalls. Whenever you show up at Yellowstone, you won't wait long to see the star attraction, Old Faithful. Don't skip a trip to the edge of the lower falls. You can look down into the mist of the 308-foot drop. This will beat any facial at the spa. You want more jaw-dropping scenery? Go to Artist Point. Now, close your mouth. Yellowstone sprawls out into panoramas that cover over 3,400 square miles. Add Rhode Island to Delaware, it's bigger than that. The grassy Lamar Valley features a dozen pullouts with views of grazing bison and elk. Look along the tree lines and you'll likely spot a lone grizzly. This is where the deer and the antelope actually play. Then the occasional wolf looking for lunch. Yellowstone sits atop a supervolcano with tons of geothermal energy. That explains the geysers. But another remarkable feature is the Grand Prismatic Spring. This is the largest hot spring in the United States. This natural hot tub is full of algae that produces ever-changing rings of color. Its unearthly beauty is best appreciated from a distance. An even stranger sight in Yellowstone is Mammoth Terraces. Hot spring water wells up through layers of limestone and leaves deposits that resemble coral or something from an alien landscape. In the warmer months, Yellowstone is covered with wildflowers. Marigolds, pussy toes, I'm not making that up, yellow bells, iris, forget-me-nots, and others that nobody could remember. The park is surrounded by forests, mountain ranges, valleys, and lakes, and it's accessible any time of year. Spend as much time as you possibly can in Yellowstone National Park. Go more than once in a lifetime, and whatever you do, do not miss Old Faithful. 1 million acres of ice in Glacier National Park. Up next. America's national parks are jammed with jaw-dropping scenery, and a whole lot of it is kept on ice up in northern Montana, in Glacier National Park. Glacier Park is named for the ancient masses of ice, some 2 miles thick, that carved up half of North America. It covers 1 million acres of Montana countryside. The place is immense. Over 1,500 square miles, half of it covered with hiking trails. 150 years ago, it is estimated that there were 150 glaciers here. Climate change has left the park with only 25 glaciers today, including Jackson Glacier. For sheer vertigo, nothing beats the vertical drop-offs of going to the Sun Road, which some think of as the best drive in America. On your way up, you hit Logan Pass, a favorite visitor stop. From this vantage, you can make out the 500-foot spectacle of Birdwoman Falls. At the same time, there is the Weeping Wall on the other side of the road. But better swing by when it's warm. In winter, Logan Pass can accumulate snows up to 8 stories high. The park's drier eastern side is where the mountains melt into the Great Plains, and they are pretty great. The view from the shores of St. Mary Lake is right out of a picture postcard. It almost looks fake. The park is packed with wildlife. Mountain goats populate the vertical rock walls found throughout the park. They hang out here because they have the upper hand with predators like mountain lions. These guys live for a dozen years or so, depending on how fast their teeth wear down. Up here, it's also common to spot a couple of moose, Hootie's marmots, or even a grizzly bear with her cub in tow. Glacier National Park is a must-do for any park explorer who wants to see these awesome rivers of ice before they disappear. The most visited of all national parks is in the woodsy wilderness straddling the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This is the place where some 9 million city slickers and country cousins meet up every year on 800 miles of trails. These mountains have been home to pioneers and rustic out-of-the-way types for the better part of 2 centuries. Best we can tell, the mountain men have called off the feuding, and today's visitors can now safely venture through a camper's paradise. Your thoughts drift back to an age when a man's home was his shack and moonshine was on the menu. The 800 square miles of wide open spaces is your best opportunity for spotting wildlife. Whatever you do, you have to take the Newfound Gap Road that splits Smoky Mountain Park right down the middle. This scenic drive is the heart of the most visited park in America. For thousands of years, snow melt from peaks as high as 14,000 feet has rushed over a sheer cliff to form Bridal Veil Falls. Just one of the many jaw-dropping sights in California's Sierra Nevadas, home to Yosemite National Park. Towering granite cliffs, mountains formed by volcanic forces, and an unspoiled realm of primeval forests. Untouched wilderness. A nice place for a Jurassic Park. Why do 4 million people come to Yosemite every year? Because everywhere you look, your mouth will open. You'll take pictures, and you will not want to go home. The park is roughly the size of Los Angeles. Most of the park is not crisscrossed by roads, so there's plenty of space for a great escape. From here, you get your first glimpse of many of the park's star attractions. El Capitan, Cathedral Rocks, Bridal Veil Falls, iconic Half Dome, and the grand wilderness of the Yosemite Valley. The valley is an amazing place no matter how you see it. Weaving through Yosemite Valley is the Merced River. It's the park's untamed main artery and provides the water for all those scenic falls you came to see. The place is famous for its waterfalls. Many of its best regularly make the national park's top 10 waterfall list. I made the waterfall list! Yes! Nothing beats the jaw-dropping thrill of Yosemite Falls. The sight will stop you in your tracks. At a height of over 2,400 feet, the water crashes against the massive rocks, producing a mist which at night creates moonbows once the sunlight fades and dark sweeps over the park. From the valley floor, you pass one waterfall after another as you tromp along the Panorama Trail. It's nearly 9 miles each way and all uphill, from 4,000 feet up to 7,200 feet. So make sure you're in good shape before taking it on. The trail leads to the park's prime vista, Glacier Point. So get up there. It's worth it. The view covers the entire eastern half of the valley. You even get a perfect perch above the visitor center, in case you came with water balloons. The 360-degree view includes waterfalls at no extra charge. Half Dome is the sheerest granite cliff on the continent. You can actually hike to its bald top in a tough 12-hour climb. Along the steep 14-mile trail, you'll come across Vernal Falls, which is accessible via the Mist Trail. But this is no time to drag your feet. Continuing up the 5,000-foot ascent, you climb past powerful cascades and terraced layers of rock, all part of the chain of waterfalls, sometimes called the Giant Staircase. You wonder how they came up with that name. Finally, a harrowing cable-assisted climb gets you to the top, but you better leave your fear of heights at home. See those little dots at the top? Those are people. And if that isn't terrifying enough, you can venture across the Yosemite Valley to the park's other signature peak, the 3,600-foot summit of El Capitan. For most, it's a majestic sight to see, but for the courageous few, it's also a rock climber's nirvana. See those little dots? Those are people too. The 2,900-foot southwest face is a vertigo-conquering challenge to most of us mortals. It was once considered an impossible climb until 1958, when it was finally conquered by Warren Harding. No, not the president. Harding was a famous rock climber nicknamed Batso because he could spend days hanging from cliffs like this, and he even invented a bat tent for sleeping. Today, El Capitan is one of the top rock climbing sites in the world. And incredibly, there are those who have scaled up these merciless walls as free climbers. That is, without gear. It is an unbelievable ascent. And then, you have to get down. When you come to Yosemite, search for the unmarked short trail to Panorama Point. Do not skip this unless you are really afraid of heights. One day, you'll look back on your life and split it into its before panorama and after panorama periods. In southwestern Utah, you will find yourself in one of the most jaw-dropping landscapes on the planet. When Mormon pioneers came here in the 1860s, they found peace and thus gave Zion National Park its name. Unlike Grand Canyon, where you look down from the rim, Zion Canyon is often viewed from the bottom. This rusty, crumbly landscape has been shaped by erosion and tectonic forces over eons of time, and it shows its age with a lot more dignity than most of us do. Unchanged since humans first showed up here 8,000 years ago, Zion is a sandstone sculpture of dry mesas, geologic gashes, and a paint box of desert colors. And you don't need a degree in earth science to appreciate the variety of natural artifacts on display. Eroded rocky layers, deep canyons, and soaring pinnacles. All have a beauty and remoteness that says you're officially in the middle of nowhere. But then, nowhere never looks so incredible. Zion Canyon Scenic Drive pierces the heart of the park and is the popular starting point for most visitors. The Zion Park Shuttle is your only choice from April to October, as during the high season, private cars aren't permitted. The usual strategy is to park at the canyon floor, and then hike or climb back up to take in the views. In Zion National Park, canyoneering and climbing are the ultimate sports. You'll be climbing up and down boulders, scaling slide rocks, rappelling, and swimming in dirty ice water. Sound fun? There are countless canyons at Zion. Some of them are so well hidden that early surveyors missed a few that were 20 miles long. Oops. Some of the park's highlights include the Great White Throne and the Court of the Patriarchs, who stand sentinel above the wild terrain. The sedimentary rock formations of the Grand Organ tower over the Virgin River, a sometimes walkable waterway. A popular stop along the river is a waterfall of sorts called Weeping Rock. This little trickle of water, which originated in an underground spring, took 1,000 years to seep through the rock. So, when you're out here in Zion National Park, take your time. It ain't going anywhere. For the ultimate high at Zion, get over to Kolob Canyon, tucked away in a remote corner of the park. It features mesas that rise to 7,000 feet and rock formations that will make you forget your troubles for at least a day. The U.S. National Park System is a diversity of landscapes that always surpass your expectations. Whether you're out for a challenging workout, a leisurely look, or an insanely good time, America's national parks pack in almost more jaw-dropping scenery than the eyes can take. It's all there. It's all waiting. So, why are you?